Hello, everyone, and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 118, being recorded live on May 23rd, 2020. I'm your host, Taylor.
And I am Anthony.
And I am Ethan.
And we have an excellent show lined up for you today. We got a little bit of news and a little bit of a water cooler conversation, which will comprise the bulk of the podcast. But first things first, the intro segment. We like to run through what we've been playing this past week. So, Ethan, what have you been up to this past week?
Halo 2 came to the Master Chief Collection on PC. What was that? Week and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
May 12th.
So a friend. Oh, really? Okay. So a friend slash coworker of mine. We were playing through the campaign on that co-op, and I've been pleasantly surprised. It's a lot of fun. Why are there? I'm shocked that there aren't many more shooters that do the whole dual wielding thing that Halo 2 did.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I've never played a game like that that does that.
I mean, unless you control recoil like a superhuman, it's kind of impractical.
I mean, you could do it in Call of Duty.
With like pistols,
think,
but like you can't really dual wield fully auto stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think Call of Duty, one of the Black Ops did it at one stage. I believe they had like dual SMGs or something.
Yeah.
And see, that's awesome. Dual SMGs is like the most fun thing in the world. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like a lot of like older shooters kind of did the whole dual wielding thing, and now everyone's kind of going for realism instead of like, hey, this is wacky and fun.
You know Who cares about that? Who cares about realism, man? I want fun.
Exactly.
Anyway, so I had a good time with that. And the story confused me a little more than the first one, but my buddy explained it to me, so it's all good.
Yeah. I heard the launch wasn't great on PC, technically.
I didn't play any online, so I wouldn't know. I only played the campaign, so it was alright, as far as I'm concerned. And then since Last of Us 2 is only 27, 28 days away, it's pretty close. I wanted to replay the first one to get kind of a refresh. Man,
sure.
I'm not saying anything revolutionary, but that is a well-written game right there. It is.
Yeah, it's a very good game. First one.
It's a very, very rich story. Yeah, and even like it's frustrating getting back into the mechanics. I think at first, but it's actually an alright third-person shooter. I mean, if I want to go and play like a fantastic third-person shooter, I'll just boot up Metal Gear Solid 5.
Hey,
but also,
there you go.
But also the story in that game sucks. So whatever.
Hey.
But also,
yeah.
See, that's part of the reason why I'm really, really excited for the HBO show. Is that in general, I like the story in that game much more than the gameplay. So yeah.
Nice.
To the show. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right, cool. Anthony, what have you been playing in terms of the video?
So I watched a couple of like YouTube videos on some like Apex stuff, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The new season of Apex actually dropped. We discussed this last week, and I had a chance to check it out as well. I'll get to that shortly. But firstly, I was like watching some YouTube stuff about like Apex, and this guy was like having issues with aim and whatever. And anyway, long story short, I downloaded like a aim trainer. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because my aim is like you can't get worse aim than mine, to be honest. I don't reckon. So I am like kind of putting about an hour a day in of that kind of stuff, and I want to say I've only been using it for like probably 3 or 4 days. I didn't use it yesterday because I was kind of busy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's basically called Kovac 2.0.
Okay.
So there was an original one which was like didn't include a lot of the features that are in the new one. So this is like the newer version of it. It's mainly based around like Fortnite and Overwatch. However, there is like a sandbox mode with like custom modes and all that kind of stuff that you can use for anything, and that's kind of what I'm going through. Anyway, so I've been putting a couple of hours into that. I've also played some Apex, as I said. The new champion is rather OP.
Oh, really?
I would say.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, she's very OP. So basically, you can open a vault. We kind of discussed this last week. So her Z ability, I believe, is you can open a vault anywhere that you want, and it's like a digital vault kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
And basically, on the map, a round circular like symbol thing appears, so anybody can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, anybody can come to your location if they wish to and take 2 items out of this certain vault. So basically, it collects items from around like a certain radius around where you are. So, like, let's say you're on Kings Canyon and you're near Market and like Skulltown, for instance. It will collect all the items from that area, bring them into your vault, and then when you open the vault, you can basically choose any item from those areas, kind of thing. So you might get a gold shield, you might get, health, you might get anything. And when you select an item, it removes it from like the location that it's located at. So anybody can take 2 items out of the vault. It lasts a minute, I believe. And yeah, I haven't played as Loba, but my brother has, so I played a couple of games with him. He quite likes her. The teleportability is way OP, so you can throw that thing as far as you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're on firing range, for anybody who's like played Apex recently, there's like a downhill bit, and then like where all the guns are, and then like uphill bit, and like all maps and like all like raised platforms and stuff like that. You can basically toss the teleportability from the bottom. From the top, all the way down to the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Which is like a good, probably 100 yards or so, like on the map. So it goes a long way. If you need to escape, it goes a very long way. The only thing is, like, you slow to a run while it's like in the air. Slow to a walk while it's in the air. So very easy to get shot while you're doing that. Aside from that, Kings Canyon has also changed. So they've gotten rid of Skulltown. They've gotten rid of a ton of other stuff as well. I would say the map is worse now than what it was, but it's still a pretty decent map. There is no World's Edge anymore. It's just a redone Kings Canyon. I'd say they're probably going to introduce World's Edge again.
And they'll like redo World's Edge again, like they did Kings Canyon, or?
I think, to be honest, I preferred World's Edge to Kings Canyon. I know when I started season 3, I was like, World's Edge sucks.
Okay, I was going to call you out on that.
Yeah, no. Get rid of it, please. But then they kind of nerfed Kings Canyon a bit, and they removed a lot of like loot density. So in Kings Canyon, it was very difficult to get good loot. So you're running around for ages looking for good loot. They've fixed that now, which is good. So initially there was a lot of loot, then they nerfed it and got rid of a lot of the loot. Now all the loot's back, or most of the loot's back. So I'd say if they kind of did the same thing with World's Edge, like took away some of the loot, because there is far too much loot in that map, but not as much as what they did with Kings Canyon. I like World's Edge. I think World's Edge is a great map. It's definitely like something that I would play 100%. The whole alternating between like Kings Canyon and World's Edge was fantastic. But like do an hour of Kings Canyon, an hour of World's Edge, an hour here, an hour there, blah, blah, blah. So that was a great way that they were doing it. Aside from that, I've been playing some League as well, League of Legends. A couple of games here and there. I haven't really played a whole heap of that this week. I suck as usual. I don't think... Did I play as Pike? No, I didn't.
No, because you got banned. Anyway. You got banned as
that's
Pike.
Right.
Yeah.
So played... I picked up a new champion, which is Pike, for anybody who plays League. He's like a support character, similar to Leona. And yeah, so I'm planning on checking him out eventually. With the group that I play at, which Taylor's a part of, we're going to try and do like all the same skin.
Yeah, matching skins one day.
Matching skins eventually.
Yeah.
Aside from that, that's it for me. I haven't really been playing anything else. So.
Okay. So, well, today was a good day, because any day you get new PC hardware is a good day. Got myself another 1 terabyte SSD for my PC.
Hey, where'd it go?
I was I was running low on my main SSD that I use for games and everything, which is 1 terabyte. So got that hooked up and everything. A little bit more of elaborate of a process than I really wanted it to be, but oh well, everything worked out in the end. Credit to Fantex for making a great PC case, because everything was pretty much toolless to get, like, even I had to like take some stuff out and everything. It was all pretty much toolless and made things work. It was all pretty simple. Then I also got a new keyboard, because I made the decision to retire my keyboard that I've used for the better part of 4 years. So
was that the Corsair one that you had?
No, it's my Poker 3, which is a really cool 60% keyboard. Sure. Yeah, spilled a drink on it, and it was going to be fine even if I didn't clean it up. But I don't like it was fine electronically after spilling the drink on it, because it all got onto the backplate and everything. And it's not even like I dumped the drink or anything. It knocked over, and before I caught it, a bit splashed onto the keyboard and everything. But then cleaning it yesterday, took a couple hours to clean it yesterday and everything. In the alcohol bath that I had to give it, it kind of wore down the last of the mechanical switch lubricant that makes the keys go up and down smoothly and not like rough and everything. So, yeah, I'm not crying. I'm not crying. It still works perfectly fine, and I'm sure if I added like more like lube to it, maybe got a new set of keycaps, maybe replaced a few switches on it, it'd be fine. But that's just a little bit more effort than I'm willing to expend on a 4-year-old keyboard right now. So, kind of new.
I'll take it when I come over there.
Okay, kind of new, fresher pastures. John After Gray's here. It is very hard to find just like a standard ass like mechanical keyboard nowadays, because like everybody's doing their own thing or like the gamery things lately. So my Poker 3, which is what I was using, had Cherry MX brown switches, which are a really nice, and I won't try and bore you guys with like keyboard deep lore or anything like that, but these switches are like kind of a good hybrid for gaming and typing. And well, I do a lot of gaming and I do a lot of typing and everything. This is opposed to like Cherry MX Reds or Cherry MX Speeds that are meant more for like gaming, not so great to type on, stuff like that. And so, browns were definitely my favorite mechanical switch. So I go looking for like, just like offhand, I know something that would be readily available would be like a Corsair, like keyboard with brown switches, because I know they make them with brown switches. All the fresh stock
hard to get a hand on.
Yeah, all the fresh stock of like Corsair brown switch keyboards and everything are just like either Cherry MX Speed switches, which are the most gamery of the Cherry MX switches, or the red switches, which were like the first gamery of the Cherry MX switches. And it's like, I don't like reds, I definitely don't like speeds, so couldn't do that. I looked at getting another Poker 3 actually, but the net stock shipment was possibly going to be in middle of June, but no one could even figure out if it would even be then. So that wasn't quite an option. Ducky, which is I don't want to say a competitor to Vortex, who makes my keyboard, but is another like reputable brand in like the kind of enthusiast mechanical keyboard community. They have a refresh line, possibly coming in on June 1st. And it's like mechanicalkeyboards.com was still unsure about whether or not that would even happen or whatever, like on June 1st, because Ducky has been pretty much shut down over in China ever since things have been going the way they have been. And so they've been kind of lax on communication. That was the look at, okay, maybe older stock of like Ducky keyboards that are still good and everything too, right? And just like the only person selling those is on Newegg at an incredible markup, and it's this Chinese vendor company that has like a 27% customer satisfaction rating from Newegg. So that was yeah, so that wasn't the great option. So I went with this Razer Huntsman keyboard, which is mostly mechanical. The switches are definitely closer to the Razer Green switches, which are similar to Cherry MX Blue switches, and I actually like the Razer Green switches quite a bit. But the difference between like blue and brown switches is that blues have this very audible click that's part of the mechanism, while browns do not, but they more or less feel the same and everything. And it's like, well, I don't mind the click. And so this Razer keyboard, it has kind of very like similar mechanical feeling switches, which I like and everything. It's a little bit lighter, but I think I'm getting used to it. I'm trying to be a little bit more delicate as I type and everything. But this is a optical keyboard, which is kind of the newest thing in the keyboard tech world and everything, where instead of actuating, so actuation is like the computer registering the key press and everything. Is like instead of actuating whenever a mechanism completes past the actuation point and everything, what this does is basically it trips a beam of light that's projected underneath the switch. And so when that beam of light gets projected, it sends this, or gets disrupted, it sends the signal to the PC and everything, and that's how it actuates. So yeah, it's supposed to be faster than the mechanical switches.
Well, that's cool.
Interesting.
That's neat.
Yeah, so anyway, so far so good. I'm happy with it. I haven't really gamed on it yet or anything, as I've had it unboxed for like 2 hours only. And yeah, and it is a little bit weird getting used to a full-size keyboard again. I will say that, because my Poker 3 is a 60% keyboard. So it's missing. it's missing the numpad, and it's missing like the arrow keys and the buttons above it, and it's missing the function row.
That's the same as me. So when I was trying to get my keyboard, I had basically the same issues as you. So I wanted to get MX Browns because blues seemed too clicky for me. I couldn't get a Corsair keyboard. I didn't want to go with Razer, and Ducky was like the best option, so I went with the Ducky keyboard. Absolutely amazing keyboard.
Yeah, Ducky's really nice.
Nothing else. They're fantastic. Pretty cheap too. And mine's like a cut down 60%er as well. So I love it. Like I would never go back to a full size keyboard.
Yeah, there is some utility that I do like from a full-size keyboard that I have missed, but you know, I've gotten pretty proficient at like getting the different layers on my poker to like simulate the effects when I need it and everything over the years. So maybe over the summer I'll see, once the stock is refreshed and everything, to maybe see about getting another 60% keyboard to kind of satiate the itch. But I'm sure this Razer keyboard will work out fine for, you know, a little bit, and who knows, maybe I'll never go back. Maybe I'll just like it enough.
And that's so strange. I can't imagine using a keyboard that doesn't have arrow keys or the function row. That would mess me up so
I know
much.
it seems inconvenient, but you get used to it after a while, and ergonomically it is so much better. Like, I wish I had my webcam, which I was going to order a webcam also, by the way, but the prices are still horribly gouged here in the United States. And
oh, well, fair enough.
Yeah, and so it's like to like type properly on like the main area of the keyboard, I have to like reach my right arm over a little bit or whatever, as opposed to it being more centered like it used to be.
Yeah,
that makes
I don't know if you can see either, but like, see how there's like symbols on the back side of the keys as well?
Yeah, those are those are called ninja keycaps, by the way.
Yeah, and it tells you like which, so like for instance for me, if I hold down FN, the FN key, like I is then scroll up and K is scroll down. So like that, if I just hold down FN and then do that, like I and K, then it allows me to scroll up and down. I can mouse click off this. It's fully like customizable. It's got macros and all that kind of stuff, so you can fully customize it to however you want. That's the same with most like 60% keyboards as well. So
they have additional functions. That's pretty neat.
Yeah,
yeah, they're decent.
They're really good. So anyway, that's kind of been the life there. And let's see. In terms of like actual gaming and everything, I've been playing a bit of Forza Horizon 4 this past week. Get back into that a little bit. Kind of hoping Forza Horizon 5 is kind of close. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Yeah, and I'm hoping the map is somewhere in Asia. I think that'd be cool. Maybe not Japan necessarily, but like, I don't know, maybe go around in like Thailand has some pretty cool roadways and everything. So that might be interesting. Exotic location.
The next Forza is going to be a motorsport Horizon, because I did Forza Horizon 4 already. So they need to do another motorsport and then they're good.
Yep. And it's like rumors that the next motorsport is going to be with like the next gen consoles. So yeah, that's how I might go. And then also playing some League of Legends with Anthony and the group, as previously mentioned, and everything, and playing a little bit of Final Fantasy 14, and yeah, not a bad set of games holding me over lately. We're gonna finally reinstall more on this in a minute, but we're gonna finally reinstall Doom Eternal and finish that game. So yeah. And I still do.
You never finished that one?
No, I never did, because like it's like got to like the last level, and then it's like I left to go out of town away from my PC and everything for like about 3 or 4 weeks or so, and then
and then Spyware.
Yeah, and then Spyware. I was just like, oh my god, I can't catch a break. Okay. Anyway,
I never uninstalled Doom Eternal.
Oh, really?
Still got it.
Nice.
Yeah, so probably I haven't updated it though, so
okay, you might be safe then.
It was a weird coincidence for me. I actually ended up uninstalling it just because I needed the space before the whole what do you call it? Before the whole Denuvo thing.
Yeah.
So like I just avoided it by chance. That was all.
Sure.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Anyway, so yeah, that wraps up the gaming thing this week. The main site is, of course, cultureofgaming.com, where we have gone back to our old look as well. Overall, just more satisfied with that layout and everything, and the performance was more or less the same. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of the biggest thing that's been happening lately. we have a community Discord where you can a link to which you can find on the right-hand side sidebar of the main site and chat with everyone you see on the podcast, and as well as all of the other staff members and everything. We also have 2 Facebook pages, one for the main site and one for the podcast. The first page is facebook.com/the COD Network, and the second page is facebook.com/PowerUpPodcast. Then Twitter at the COD Network, Instagram at Culture of Gaming, youtube.com/Culture of Gaming, twitch.tv/Culture of Gaming. And if you want to listen to a repository of all of the previously recorded podcasts, you can head on over to anywhere you can find podcasts, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Pocket Casts, Podcast Addict, etc., and find a full repository of all the previously recorded podcasts that we've done. And if you really want to watch us do all the podcasts, you can find a video repository on the YouTube channel, which is once again youtube.com/Culture of Gaming. So jumping right into the news, our first story is a follow-up from a story that we covered last week about Doom Eternal and whatnot. So last week we reported on the podcast that Doom Eternal got updated with a very intrusive anti-cheat that everyone was forced to use, even if they were only going to be playing single player. Needless to say, the community got outraged enough that, well, it looks like id Software is walking back on their decision to include this anti-cheat. Marty at id made this Reddit post. He's the executive producer for Doom Eternal, and he's also the guy who did that open letter about the Doom soundtrack, also, a couple weeks ago when we talked about that. Yeah, so this Reddit post, and I'm going to drop it in the chat here. 3, 2, 1, there it goes. It goes, I want to provide our PC community the latest information on a number of topics related to Update 1, which we released this past Thursday. This was 3 days ago. Our team has been looking into the reports of instability and performance degradation for some users, and we've also seen the concerns around our inclusion of Denuvo Anti-cheat. As is often the case, things are not as clear-cut as they may seem, so I'd like to include the latest information on the actions we're taking, as well as offer some context around the decisions we've made. We are preparing and testing PC-only Update 1.1 that includes the changes and fixes noted below. We hope to have this rolled out to players within a week. Our team's original decision to include Denuvo Anti-cheat in Update 1 was based on a number of factors. Protect battle mode players from cheaters, establish cheat protection in the campaign, and in preparation for the future launch of Invasion, which is a blend of campaign and multiplayer. Kernel-level integrations are typically the most effective in preventing cheating. Denuvo's integration met our standards for security and privacy. Players are disappointed on Doom with our delay in adding anti-cheat technology to protect the game's multiplayer. If you're wondering why people are concerned about this anti-cheat, look up the same arguments as to why people are concerned with Valorant's anti-cheat, and more or less the same thing. Anyway, despite our best intentions, feedback from players has made it clear that we must reevaluate our approach to anti-cheat integration. With that, we will be removing the anti-cheat technology from the game in our next PC update. As we examine any future of anti-cheat in Doom Eternal, at a minimum, we must consider giving campaign-only players the ability to play without anti-cheat software installed, as well as ensure the overall timing of any anti-cheat integration better aligns with player expectations around clear initiatives, like ranked or competitive play, where demand for anti-cheat is far greater. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
That's kind of the meat and potatoes of the post.
There you go. Good on Marty Stratton for hopping on top of it and making sure. I mean, this was a big issue on the Doom subreddit. People weren't talking
were
about
very
anything.
upset.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is like the second time. I mean, first there was the Mick Gordon thing, and now this. The second time that Marty's just hopped on top of it and made one of these long, in-depth, very well worded posts to kind of just resolve some things. And I mean, this is how you do community interaction, right? This is how you do community feedback. It's it's good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to hate considering how, they've been at least they're willing to walk back changes that the community vehemently dislikes. So credit to them.
It's great.
Yeah.
Only more developers were this open about it, then I mean, it would be a perfect video game industry, right?
If only Bethesda treated all of their games like this.
Right? Wouldn't it be nice?
I mean, this is id, so this is,
I know, but it is still under Bethesda, though.
I know, but I don't know. To me, this is how stuff should be handled. With the whole Riot Games thing that happened with their anti-cheat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say they kind of handled it pretty well as well.
Okay.
At the end of the day, id is like their own company. Not Microsoft. Bethesda probably don't have a say too much about what they do, I guess.
Yeah.
And like because Bethesda doesn't own id, do they?
No,
Those publisher games.
I believe so.
So yeah. Okay. So I mean, yeah, this is how a dev should handle like a issue with the game or whatever. I don't understand why they've implemented anti-cheat now instead of earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Because multiplayer's been out the whole time.
Right.
So it's interesting that they've kind of implemented it now. I think, did they purposefully push an anti-cheat that is this bad, or did they just not know about it?
No, they specifically intentioned to push an anti-cheat that was at a kernel level. That's what it said in the post. They specifically wanted one of those at the kernel level because that'll offer the most best protection and everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, like things change, you make mistakes. So that might be what they were going for, but people don't want that. And yeah, I mean, like anti-cheat's anti-cheat. Every game needs it, so it just kind of depends on what your motive is and whatever. And I think the most important thing is that they're listening to what their community has to say. People don't like it, so they're scrapping it, which is great. And they're doing it pretty darn quick too.
Yeah.
They've come out and said about it pretty darn quick rather than people being like, oh, you're not responding, blah, blah, blah. So that's good.
Absolutely.
Ethan, because you were on the podcast when we talked about the open letter that they did about the soundtrack and everything. What was like that formula or whatever for like controversy on the internet you were talking about?
Oh yeah, it's just that one person comes out with an allegation.
Yeah.
Or X person comes out with allegation against Y person.
Yeah.
The entire internet goes into a frenzy, starts railing on Y person. Then Y person comes out with a much lengthier letter detailing what actually happened. Then the internet realizes, oh, there were actually two sides to the story.
Yeah, this is essentially this. Like, they're in all fairness to id Software and everything, like their reasoning here is sound and everything for why they wanted to include it and everything. But I think the misstep happened is that they didn't gather community opinion beforehand regarding like adding it. They just kind of did it.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I think this could be like anti-cheat stuff in general, and like the way devs handle like pushing updates and all that kind of stuff. This, like with what's happened with Riot and also now with id, this could actually be a good thing because developers might think to themselves, hey, let's ask the community first,
right?
Rather than, and you got two major players who are probably going to start doing that now, which are Riot and id. Maybe Bethesda will follow suit. So
maybe EA, maybe Ubisoft too. Because, I mean, their third-party anti-cheats aren't incredible. Like, they're not the worst. They're not incredible. They're not as intrusive as, like, Denuvo or Valorant's anti-cheat. So, they work okay.
I keep forgetting, what does Apex use? Because that's a decent anti-cheat.
They use, like, Panda or whatever. No, they use Easy anti-cheat, sorry. Easy anti-cheat, yeah.
Yep. So,
Halo uses Panda, I think.
Okay.
That's a pretty decent anti-cheat, easy anti-cheat.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. EA or Respawn kind of has it in the bag.
I don't think I've had a whole lot of issues with cheaters in Apex, just thinking back to when I played it. Or if anything, it wasn't blatant, so...
I think it was a bit too early, kind of. So, there are, like, myself and also some other people who I've played with have 100% come across people who just, like, snap straight to like everybody.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy. Like it's very, 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 very rare that you come across people like that.
But so there are
them. Yeah, exactly. So it's just a matter of reporting and whatever. Call of Duty, on the other hand, is hell for that.
Oh,
like Warzone specifically.
So
I don't know what anti-cheat they use. But yeah, like Warzone is becoming. There's so much stuff out there about how Warzone is becoming unplayable because of like cheaters and stuff. So.
Yeah.
In general, id is pretty good at being open with their community, and I mean, if you go back to like even like the late '90s, they've been pretty lenient with releasing like source code for most of their games. Like you can just find the source code for Doom, like 1, 2, 3, most of the Quake games, which is just something that not a lot of developers do. And that was back whenever it was under John Carmack. But it's just good to see that they're continuing that mantra.
Yeah. The top Reddit comment is Marty the Controversy Slayer. Because he just kind of like releases these letters and everything, and just puts an end to whatever controversy has been like marring the subreddit for the past couple days.
Fix and correct until it is done.
Yeah, truly. All right, so anything else to talk about this one? I mean, this is kind of a cut and dry case because we didn't catch this in the middle of it happening or anything. Something happened, response happened. We have a complete story here.
Good work.
Yeah, seems so.
All right.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, good job. Good job, id Software. Keep on going.
Definitely.
All right, so let's talk about another problem child for Bethesda. Okay. Todd Howard's redheaded stepchild, if you will, Fallout 76, now has a battle pass on top of a subscription, on top of microtransactions, and on top of an initial cost to play the game.
I mean, what did you expect?
This is...
I mean, accurate. Pretty accurate.
Oh man, so in the MMO space, the term double dipping has started coming about a little bit, which refers to like a MMO charging an upfront cost and a subscription model. Because lately, with a lot of like newer MMOs, there has either been a subscription model or an upfront cost, but not like both. It's usually been either or. And usually if it was just a subscription model with no upfront cost, there would also be microtransactions. And then also if there was a upfront cost with no subscription, there would also be microtransactions. So they're kind of like permeating the space right now. But so in the MMO space, we refer to a game that does both a subscription and upfront cost as double dipping. This is like triple dipping, man.
I mean, okay, so there's a term in the mobile games market called it's when you're referring to a person who will only play one particular mobile game and will spend whatever amount of money, like thousands of dollars potentially on it. That's referred to as a whale, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if honestly this just might be their strategy here. Whoever's playing Fallout 76 at this point, after all the negative press it's gotten, how it's just at an all-time low on the internet. If there's anyone still playing that,
yeah,
they must be willing to spend money on flipping anything related to Fallout. So, I don't know. Maybe that's the market they're trying to appeal to, is say, well, okay, we have a couple people that are playing our game. We may as well tax them.
I feel like they may have like a dedicated fan base, even.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's some people who are just like so into Fallout that like Fallout 76 still tickles their fancy.
Fair enough. Well, then this is aimed at those people, I guess.
Okay.
Which at the same time is just really crappy, but
I just realized my left eye looks rather red for some reason. But like...
Fascinating.
I don't know. Yeah, I know, right? So, like, I don't know. A battle pass on top of microtransactions, on top of an initial cost, on top of something else I think you mentioned. Like, how much more can you bleed people? If you've got such a small player base, or like not many new people are buying your game or whatever, you don't try and wring the thing dry.
Mm-hmm.
You don't try and get all the water out of it, or like draw blood from a stone in a sense. It's a bad idea. You're going to cause the people who are already playing your game to walk away. So I feel like at this point they need to be doing the opposite. They need to be offering like limited time events and like free to play days and all that kind of stuff, and like free loot and whatever, instead of just like, hey, give us more money. So if it's an ongoing MMO, like they need to do something, because like, to be honest, even with the game the way it is now, if they offered a good enough deal, I might think about playing it for a tiny bit.
Okay, fair enough.
So I feel like they're not going to bring in any new players at this rate, so Fallout 76 might die soon. So, yeah. Make sense?
Yes. I understand. Okay. You know, do you think it's at the point where like anyone who has wanted to play it has played it at this point, and you know they're just trying to milk what's there, just trying to get as much.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Like, is anyone scared for Elder Scrolls 6 because of this?
A little, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a lot of interest in it. But yeah, I don't see too much promise there. Unfortunately.
Okay, so as like a resident Elder Scrolls fan, I've played most Elder Scrolls games, including like so played 2, 3, 4, which was Oblivion, which is my favorite, 5, which is Skyrim, and ESO as well. I have no confidence for ESO 6 at this rate.
Okay. Or ESO, it's not ESO 6.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls 6, sorry.
There you go, see.
I keep saying Elder Scrolls is ESO for some reason. Yeah, like I have no confidence at all for Elder Scrolls 6 in the slightest. So yeah, good luck to them. I mean, they need to surprise people, really. Like, they really do.
Yeah.
They need to pull something out.
I'm afraid with how aggressive like the content and the monetization model would be for like Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever. Because I mean, what if they, they might do like a $60 season pass for, like 4 DLCs for the first year of launch or whatever, and then I'm sure there will be microtransactions in game as well. In probably a single player game, which would be kind of ridiculous. Yeah. And then I have no idea what the format of Starfield will be, so it's a little bit harder to get a judge on that.
Totally fair.
Who knows what even Starfield is? Like, nobody knows what it is at all. So, I don't know, it's going to be difficult. Like, people are excited for it, yeah, but where are your expectations? Like, you can't have an expectation for something you don't know. So, I mean, I'm not saying for the ESO to far out. Why do I keep saying that? Bethesda to come out and say, hey, Starfield is 6 years away, or blah, blah, blah. Don't announce it too early, but at the same time, you can't have an opinion on Starfield at all.
Right, because we just straight up don't know what it's going to be like, It's like...
Yeah.
Is it going to be an RPG? Is it going to be an FPS? We don't even know. Yeah. All right.
Genuinely, I don't know if one single game can...
remake.
I don't know if a single game can affect the outcome of another. But I think one advantage that Bethesda had going into most of the Elder Scrolls games of the previous generation, Skyrim especially, was that they were kind of appealing to a market that wasn't really super tapped into yet. Like there aren't a lot of you couldn't tell me a lot of fantasy open world games that came out back in like the early 2000s, right? I mean, they just weren't around. Bethesda was kind of the king of that, right? But genuinely,
at least in the Western space, I mean, there were plenty of open world JRPGs that were around at the time.
Yeah, that's fair. But genuinely and legitimately, I think the fact that CD Projekt Red has made The Witcher 3, which is just one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time. Now that we have that comparison, right? It's like they've set a bar so high that I don't know that Bethesda can clear it.
Yeah, they've literally made a better Skyrim in Witcher 3.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So it just feel like any time that anybody looks at, if they come out with Elder Scrolls 6 and it's just, using the same engine and it has the same level of writing quality, and people are, it makes the comparison. The comparison only makes it, look so much worse.
Right.
Let me just say, Skyrim wasn't that good. I'm just gonna say it right
vanilla
now.
Skyrim, no, but like modded Skyrim is still fun as hell.
Okay, sure. But vanilla Skyrim, base game that they released, after even patching and all that kind of stuff, wasn't a very good game. Oblivion was better. I'm just gonna come out and say it right now. Oblivion was better. If you want a proper Skyrim, play Blinking Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Simple. And again, if you want the best DLC ever, play Blood and Wine. of which is Witcher 3.
Debatable, but fair enough. No,
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
again, it's just the comparison thing. Skyrim was kind of leagues above everything as far as the scope of the open world at the time.
At the time, because I mean, Witcher 3
yeah,
came
at
out
the time.
4 years after Skyrim did.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was a product of its time. It's tough to go back to today. I mean, Bethesda, they just have leaps and bounds to go if they're gonna impress anybody with Elder Scrolls 6, I suppose.
I wouldn't. Yeah, like to be honest, like I couldn't. I mean, I know I just said that if you want a better Skyrim, play Witcher 3, but like you can't really compare the two as well at the same time because they're like two totally different games. So if I guess at the end of the day, if you're wanting a really good RPG, play Witcher 3. Skyrim is like a 8 or so experience. It's not like a 10.
It's like baby's first RPG. Skyrim.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And like all you gotta do if you play on PC is TGM and bang, you're good. Which is toggle god mode.
Yeah. Hey, wait.
Just litter the sky with Thomas the Tank Engine, then you will have a good version.
It's amazing. How is Skyrim rated M? I'm actually kind of confused.
Yeah, it's on the lower end of things. I've actually thought about this quite a bit before. There's like an entire class of M-rated games that are like lower than like other M-rated games.
Yeah, like I don't understand how Halo is rated M either, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
doesn't make any sense.
There's not even an
Dark Souls.
Yeah, there's not even an F-bomb in Halo.
Dark Souls, I don't know.
I can kind of understand the Dark Souls one just because of all the deathly imagery that's around, and some of the stuff looks pretty ghastly, you know.
But then you look at Bloodborne, which just like in comparison is like a tier higher than that.
Yeah,
that's definitely a good conversation to have. But then again, there are also T-rated games. Off the top of my head, are there any reverse T-rated games that maybe should be rated a little higher?
Ooh, off the top of my head, I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
We have a good question. Rating thing here, so I've got no clue.
What was Half-Life rated?
M.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal should probably be rated teen. I don't know.
Probably not. I think M
no.
is a good rating for that.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Whatever.
No.
And then Call of Duty probably shouldn't be rated M because all the kids just play it anyway. So why even bother? You know?
I think they say the F word a little bit too much in Call of Duty. So.
But all the kids are gonna play it anyway. So who cares?
I know.
Just lower it.
Remember, online interactions are not rated by the ESRB. Okay.
It's meaningless. It's all meaningless.
Yeah, it truly is.
Kid, get your KD above 1, then you can come to my country, okay?
That meme. I love it. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's like I totally understand like why The Witcher 3 is rated M, right? Like that made sense and everything. But like I don't know, the worst thing is Skyrim is decapitating someone. It's like I feel like if they kind of tone down the blood splatter a little bit, it could pass for a teen game. And then it's like, I don't think.
And then also there are rough representations of body models in combat with each other. In reality, it looks nothing like combat, but there's that.
The hand animation swinging back and forth at each other. It's amazing. Okay.
The random intervals where it pulls from a first-person perspective to a third-person perspective, and it makes no sense.
Anyway.
Such as in Fallout, where it pulls out to a third-person perspective every single time you sit down in a chair.
Mm-hmm.
What's
That is so annoying, by the way.
Yeah, why?
GTA 5 rated?
M.
Definitely.
M?
That's not it. That's not even a question. That made sense.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
So M is the worst you can get over there, is it?
No, you can get adults only.
Okay. That's right. San Andreas was rated adults only for a short time. That's an entire story. That's a fun one. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Anthony, have you heard that story before?
Yeah, I kind of have as well. I want to say we used to have the same rating system as you guys, and then we changed.
Let's see. Yeah, there's wow, the adults only rating died for like a solid 10 years. No, I'm sorry. 20 years almost. 19 years. Yeah, there was All Nude Cyber in 1997, which was the first adults only game for strong sexual content. All Nude Glamour and All Nude Nikki released in 1998 both.
Oh, God.
and again for strong sexual content. They're all made by the same developer, Match Daddy Entertainment. Okay.
Of course, it's named Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
Of course, why not?
Yeah, Body Language, strong sexual content, released in 1998. A Critical Point, released in 2002 for Windows by publisher Peach Princess for strong sexual content and sexual violence. Cyber Photographer.
Calm down there. No.
Okay. Cyber Photographer, 1996, also by Matt Daddy Entertainment.
Of course.
Strong sexual content. And then fast forward to 2015 when we got the next adults only game. The Eden Star plus Mosaic. This is a Japanese hentai game by developer Manda Gamer. Nudity, strong language, strong sexual content. Game was sent to the ESRB at the request of the Japanese developer in order to get a green light for the release in the United States. The all ages version of this game is also rated M. Fascinating. And let's see, going over to the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, October 26, 2004. Originally rated M, San Andreas was temporarily re-rated AO following the discovery of an incomplete hot coffee minigame that could be enabled with a mod or cheating. Oh, I remember this, which featured characters engaging in sexual intercourse. And its rating was changed back to M after Rockstar patched the game to remove the offending content entirely.
Well, what was funny about that particular story was that hot coffee was only accessible if you hacked the game.
Yeah.
So really, they never should have changed the rating in the first place. But
Okay.
yeah.
So consoles, like, Xbox and everything, you're not allowed to have at some point you weren't allowed to have an adults only game on like the
really?
360 and PS3. Yeah.
I know that.
I remember that.
I know that national retailers just won't sell adults only games.
Yeah. There is the very first game to receive the adults only rating was released in 1993. It's called The Joy of Sex, and it was released on the CDI.
Of course it was. What? It makes sense that the weirdest three Zelda games ever made are on the same console as the first adults only game.
That seems about right. Anyway, that was a fun little...
That checks out.
Yeah, that was a fun little rabbit hole. Okay. Well, you know what? Speaking of CD Projekt Red and The Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red is now Europe's most valuable game company, surpassing French-based Ubisoft. So CD Projekt Red is based in Poland, the Polostis. And yeah, the CD Projekt Group, which includes The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt developer CD Projekt Red and digital distribution platform GOG, or Good Old Games, as the acronym it spans to, skyrocketed again on Monday, officially surpassing Ubisoft to become the most valuable video game company in Europe. You read that right. The award-winning company that gave us the Witcher trilogy is currently larger than the French tech giant in terms of market capitalization. At the time of this writing, which was May 19th, 2020, Ubisoft is worth whatever the Polish currency is, 35.6 billion, which is like 7.82 billion pounds, I think. While CD Projekt Red's market value is estimated at 36.5 billion Polish currency, which equates to like 8.01 billion. I believe that's pounds still. Although it's a huge achievement, it's important to remember that CD Projekt Red posted 521 million in Polish currency in revenues in 2019, while Ubisoft generated 416 Polish million dollars in. Wait, no, they switched back to pounds again. Oh my! Names are tough.
That's not confusing.
Yeah, Ubisoft generated 416.2 million pounds of revenue. What? Oh my God! What? They didn't convert the CD Projekt Red.
They're worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, okay. Do you want bottom line? CD Projekt Red made more money than Ubisoft, and they've surpassed them as Europe's most valuable game company. CD Projekt Red is obviously the most valuable Polish company.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
As of May 2020, Ubisoft has a net worth of around $4.5 billion.
Yeah.
The most valuable Polish company. Just the wow.
Yeah. Wow. The second one is like a bank.
Yeah. Wow. I think we need a round of applause for CD Projekt Red. Are you with me?
I reckon.
If I had the sound effect, I would play it.
I mean, that's incredible, especially considering that CD Projekt only has like the one successful, lucrative franchise, and Ubisoft has like what, 11? I don't know.
Let's see. Ubisoft has Watch Dogs, Rainbow Six, the entire like Tom Clancy franchise.
Far
They have
Cry.
The Crew, yeah, Far Cry.
Assassin's Creed, Just Dance.
Oh yeah, I can't
Rabbids.
forget Just Dance. Yeah, right. They have Rayman by extension.
All that, and they're just taken over by one witchy
By
boy.
pretty much the Witcher series, right? Because like,
No.
One,
yeah.
Random fact. Okay, guess who owns part of Ubisoft?
Who?
5%.
Tencent?
Correct.
Yep.
oh,
No surprise.
I had
Tencent
no
has
idea.
like these little 5% stakes in just about every company out there at this point.
yeah,
So
they got their little pinchers on everybody.
they get around.
Yeah.
The article goes on to note that investors are optimistic for CD Projekt's earnings later this year and into the next year due to Cyberpunk 2077.
Hey, well, I think there's a little mini triumph in this as
Yeah.
well. Project Red is a great company because they don't implement microtransactions, and when they have DLC, it's substantial and good.
It's
and
really,
worth
really
buying.
good.
Yeah, exactly. Which shows that when you're not a crappy company that, undercuts your consumer and tries to swindle them,
Oh,
you do very, very well.
yes.
So
Precisely.
there you go.
Yeah, so going on to some like stuff that Ubisoft owns, just to get a little bit better idea. They have rights to like Hasbro board games to make games
Yep.
of. So they made Monopoly and Uno games. We've played Uno, Anthony.
Yep.
Yeah. They have For Honor.
We need to do that again. We need
Yeah.
to stream that.
They have Rocksmith. Yeah, there's Far Cry, Rainbow Six. They have Splinter Cell. They have the South Park rights. They have Prince of Persia. They have Trackmania. Yeah. They have
That's a lot.
they have quite a lot of they have rights to Star Trek games.
Rabbids.
Yeah. We talked about
Just
that.
Dance alone has to generate oodles and boodles of revenue for them.
Did you know that there was an Assassin's Creed game that took place in Russia?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I
Which
didn't
one was
know
that?
It was Assassin's
It's-
Creed Chronicles, Russia.
You know the
It's
Chinese
just like the China one too, yeah.
a while back?
Yeah.
That's
What's that?
similar to that.
Huh.
Ubisoft
That's
owns
2D.
Call of Juarez, okay. Brothers in Arms, okay. Wow. Yeah, Ubisoft is not exactly tiny now, are they?
Might and Magic, they also own.
Okay.
Oh, they also make
They
towers.
own Yokai Watch.
Wait, what?
Assassin's Creed, obviously.
Wait, did you say Yokai Watch?
Yeah.
That's a Nintendo franchise. That's a game. I thought that was Game Freak.
Yeah.
They own the rights to it.
What?
Since when? That's a Nintendo thing. I thought.
To the Google.
To the
Yokai
Giant bomb.
Watch is a mixed media franchise of role-playing video games and toys created and developed by Level 5. The first game in the series was released for the Nintendo 3DS in 2013. Three
Oh,
main
it's-
sequels and several spin-offs on both the Nintendo mobile platforms.
It's the Just Dance version of it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
There's a Just Dance version.
That sounds
Yeah.
incredible, by the way.
The flip.
Okay.
Are there 4 Yokai Watch games? What in the world? How did that happen?
There's also an anime and manga.
Oh, they own the Asphalt series as well.
How? I
There's
remember
so
the
many
first
spin-offs too. Good
I
lord.
remember the
Puppies
first-
3D.
I remember the first game coming out however many years ago, and I stopped caring about it. I thought everybody did. I didn't know they kept on doing stuff with it. That's insane.
It's really popular in Japan still. Okay.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, total tangent.
I-
Whatever.
They own the Pets, the PETZ games.
Yeah.
Cooking Coach, whatever that is. They own a lot of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the ends
My
and a lot of.
Coach.
It's
Oh,
like who
Battle
would
of
win?
Bethesda.
The combined might of some of the most iconic franchises and characters in gaming history. One witching
One
boy.
witchy boy.
Yeah.
One witchy boy.
One witching boy.
I've played that game.
Fight.
All right, so is there like anything else to say outside of like congratulations to CD Projekt Red? May the truly better company win. Like,
They only own one series too, don't they, CD?
I mean, they have the. I mean, they don't even technically have original IPs, right? They license out
No, they
other
don't.
IPs and do cool shit with
That's
them.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Totally fair. I mean, go play Witcher 3. I mean, they're only going to continue to be more successful, right? Witcher Season 2 is coming out when?
Are they? I didn't even know Witcher was in Season 2. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to Season 2 for sure.
Okay.
I think it's probably been delayed because of coronavirus, I'd imagine. But
Damn.
I mean, there was that huge bump that the game got.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, we talked a little bit about that too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it was played more during the season premiere, or I don't know, whenever that released, than at any other point during Witcher 3's life cycle, which is
I
just
loved how
insane.
everyone, like, when that happened, let's just go straight to The Witcher 3, skipping the previous 2 games.
Yeah, it's been real confusing for me working from the beginning and the end, and I don't have the context in the middle.
The extraterrestrial. Oh dear.
What? Oh, the NES game? Or the
godforsaken NES game? E.T.?
That game, but that's game.
So wait, what was it? Sorry?
E.T. the extraterrestrial for Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, what about
Game
it?
Boy Advance.
Oh, Game Boy. Okay, got it.
Not NES. Okay.
People were asking.
Okay, sorry.
Wait, do they don't own F1 as well, do they?
I don't think so. Were we talking about Ubisoft still?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we were talking about CD Projekt. We were saying CD Projekt owns ET.
Oh, 100%. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it.
See, that's more to the point, though, right? They don't have any original IPs. They just licensed it out, you know.
That's actually interesting, the relationship between the Witcher books and games.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, so according to the games, books are canon.
Mm-hmm.
But the books do not recognize the games, because Andrzej Sapkowski, the original author, does not play video games, so it's a weird relationship there.
Yeah.
He hasn't written a book, though, since the games, has he?
I don't know.
I
I know
think
that
so.
the series ended a long time ago, but
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
so.
That's probably... I mean, that could have something to do with it, so...
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so good job, CD Projekt Red. Hopefully, Cyberpunk 2077 is good, and it was worth the 7-year wait. Yeah. Not salty at all. No.
we shall soon see.
Yeah. What is it, like September when that game comes out?
That's right.
Okay. Excellent. How big are you gonna make your schlong in that game?
I'm just gonna go tiny. That's
Okay.
tiny.
Anthony, how about you?
A good 3 centimeters.
Okay.
Bet I'm going 2.5.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that. What I was going to say, it's all good.
If you're given an option to remove it, I'll just become like this asexual being in Cyberpunk. Just yeah. Okay. Anyway.
You're just gonna walk around T-posing the entire time.
Pretty much, yeah. T-posing for reproduction purposes. All right, and with that, we're going to cut to an advert spot. That's going to wrap up the news. Be back in about 30 seconds.
This week's episode of the Power Up Podcast is brought to you by OptiNutra. OptiNutra offers nootropic-type supplements that help support enhanced sleep, vision, flexibility, energy, long-range health, and so much more. You can check out their full range of supplements using the link in this episode's description.
All right, and well, we once again thank whatever their names are for their continued support of the show. They're like Performance Lab, right?
Correct.
Then what's New Eltro
Yes.
or Neutralo? New Eltro.
They're a similar thing.
Oh, are they different though?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so the advert I just went was for Performance Lab, right?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure. Got it. How haven't we been dropped yet? Cool. Okay, anyway, so, well, you know, after the news and everything, the next segment up is the water cooler conversation, where we talk about what's been buzzing around the metaphorical COG office the past week or so, maybe a week and a half. We have some Twitch drama to go over, which is going to be kind of a show. So before we get into that, we're going to keep it a little bit gaming related, because I kind of wanted to go off the rails by the time we get to the Twitch stuff, to be honest. We got a PS5 and Xbox compare and contrast stuff going about, because, you know, oh my god, autoplay video, why GameSpot? Dear God, I hate that so much. Who does that? Okay, anyway.
GameSpot.
Yeah, right? So, yeah, it is that certainly that time of year. Next-gen consoles like just around the corner. PS5, Xbox Series X, key differences we know so far. Yeah, people are starting to make the direct comparison. What are we thinking? Because we know the specs and everything. The Xbox kind of is marginally better than the PS5 hardware-wise. Yeah.
So when you say what do we think about what? What do you?
I mean, just in general, who do you think is winning the metaphorical console war right now with the PS5 and Series X, based on what we know so far? I would say that's the best way to phrase it.
Sure.
I don't know much about either console's launch games, so I think the verdict is kind of out on that at the moment.
Let's see here. What launch games are there? What do we got for the Series X? We got Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. Oh man, my favorite. That's amazing. Okay.
Please nuke it.
Right. And Halo Infinite.
Right. I mean, is Halo Infinite? Sorry, is Halo Infinite releasing at launch?
Yeah, it's a launch title.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
We don't actually know any PS5 launch titles.
That's true.
Yeah, Godfall.
Oh, okay. It's set to launch by the end of the year, though, not necessarily with the PS5.
So
yeah, we don't technically know any launch titles for the PS5. That's neat, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta have something there, right?
Mm-hmm. Did we have this conversation last week, Anthony, where we talked about the timing of everything between Sony and Microsoft? Maybe it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was week before last where we were talking about how Microsoft wasn't showing any games or their inside Xbox and all that kind of stuff, and how blah blah blah. As far as okay, so currently you can't really base this argument off exclusives because we've got no idea what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft has 2 games lined up, 2 to 3 games lined up. Sony has none yet that we know of. To be honest, I'm pretty darn positive that Sony's still going to kill it no matter what, because Sony, of what they did last gen, or this gen, I should say.
Yeah.
But personally, it's hard. It's kind of off speculation, isn't it? Really.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay, Ethan.
You got some problems here, buddy.
No, no problems.
Okay. What is happening? What is the issue?
Okay, back to a civilized conversation. Okay, so
was this ever one?
As far as launch stuff and exclusives and all that kind of thing, I'm not gonna lie, I refuse. What was I saying? Yeah, so as far as you can't really comment on that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really say anything about exclusives. As far as hardware, both consoles are very similar.
Yes.
As we've said multiple times before. You're not going to see a difference with Microsoft, the Series X, with they got 2 better teraflops.
Woo!
Who cares? At the end of the day, you can have the best gaming PC, the best gaming machine, console, whatever it may be. You can have a $4,000 PC, for goodness sake. If you've got no games to play on it, it's useless. So you can have blinking ray tracing out the whatever.
Wazoo. You'd have ray tracing out the wall. You'd have ray traced 2B buttocks, okay, with all 6 million polygons and glorious ray traced photons reflecting off of it. But unless
Taylor, why was it concerns me that I guess I know something about you now that you went to 2B first. That was the first thing that came to your mind.
I was just thinking about who has the most technically detailed buttocks in gaming, and 2B. Anyway.
You can have nuclear powered cooling. Not that exists, but
yeah.
You can have everything. But if you've got no games,
nobody cares. It's the same thing that happened to the Xbox One at the launch.
Precisely. And I worry, I've said this multiple times on the show, I worry that Microsoft is going to repeat what they did with the Xbox One. And I think Ethan actually agreed with me for once a couple of weeks back about that.
I believe so too, yeah. I think we're all a very similar
A
mind here.
legendary event.
I know.
A legendary event never happens. It's like
Spoken of in the ages.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's prophesied. So yeah. Anyway, you can't really comment on who's winning at the moment or any of that. So yeah, that's me. Done.
Okay, fair enough. I think my bearing on it initially so far is that the PS5 is just spec marginally lower enough than the Xbox One, or the Series X, I should say, rather, that Sony will be able to price it in at like $50 cheaper than the Series X, and when, just off that. Because, okay, Microsoft went for the same tactic of checking off the marketing bots of best specs in the console market, right? It's what they did with the Xbox One X and versus the PS4 Pro and everything. You know, Microsoft ticked the bots up for most technically apt console and everything. And, well, it's like, you know, people just didn't give a damn.
Yep. It's like Microsoft lost money on that.
Yeah.
I think they're selling it at a loss as was, which is what quite a few console manufacturers do anyway.
Right.
But usually, like, they end up making money off the console eventually. The fanboys kind of rushed in and grabbed it straight away. Nobody else did.
Yeah,
nobody else did. So, yeah.
I think largely I'm kind of just disinterested in the launch this fall. You know what? Or winter, whatever.
I have my PC that will beat both consoles at launch, so I don't even care.
Yeah. Right? That's the thing, though. That's what I miss about... guys, you remember back in 2017, whenever the Switch first came out? You remember back in 2007 or whatever year it was, whenever the Wii came out?
Yeah.
Nintendo is so good at hardware launches because they always have this unique gimmick. You're like, you don't know what the heck Nintendo's going to release. It's going to be something crazy. It's going to be something
cool.
It might
and
flop
exciting.
on its face.
Oh.
Yeah, it might flop on its face like the Wii U.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it also it's different, right? It's different. It's refreshing. It's something I actually want to get excited for rather than just a bump in specs. Which ultimately, again, if I want to bump in specs, I'm just going to play on my PC at the end of the day.
Right, exactly.
And that's part of the reason why actually I'm a little more excited for Sony because they've actually proven that, hey, we're going to add some new features to our controller with the haptic feedback and the.
That'll be fun to have on PC, you know.
Fair enough. Yeah. Once
Once people figure out how to get those PS5 controllers working, it'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, giving the hardware upgrades do matter, and it's something that, frankly, I mean, Sony or Microsoft have never really emphasized a lot. And I'm glad Sony is emphasizing it a little bit more. But regardless, that or just a lack of launch games that I personally care about. It's like I don't know. I'm kind of disinterested.
I'm excited for Halo Infinite, but I'm pretty sure that'll be on PC. So like.
I just don't know what to think about Halo Infinite. That's my.
I wait with bated breath. How about that?
Halo Infinite is gonna suck.
Okay. Based on what information outside of Halo 5?
3.
Okay.
All right, so presumably, it makes too much sense. Presumably, they would port The Last of Us 2 to PS5, right? I mean, it's coming out so late in the PlayStation 4 life cycle. It just makes sense to have as something that you'd want to play on day one of that console, right? Or am I out of my gourd? I'm probably out of my gourd.
I'm not sure because I feel like The Last of Us 2 is such a big name that everyone who's going to want to play it was going to play it very, very close to launch. And so...
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's like I don't see a lot of people, oh yeah, I'll just wait like another 6 months when the PS5 comes out.
And you know, as excited as I am for The Last of Us 2, I feel like that is a blunder on Sony's part, right? I mean, if you were wanting to sell people on your new console, you'd want a big name like Last of Us.
Right.
Kind of pushing that forward.
And it's the game has been delayed already so much more, so it's like, if that delayed another 6 months, what was another 6 months for that game's development cycle, right? That was another drop in the bucket at that point.
I mean, that's what Nintendo did with Breath of the Wild. They kept on delaying it until the release of the Nintendo Switch, and that's what sold people on the Nintendo Switch.
That's literally why I bought my Switch.
It was today.
That's literally why I bought my Switch.
Exactly,
yeah.
Right? But then Nintendo was also smart about it and released it cross-platform between Wii U and Switch. Right? You can have your cake and eat it too. You could release Last of Us 2 on PS4 and PS5, and that would push your console forward, get the momentum going.
Right.
But I don't know.
I guess the audience I neglected to think of when I just said that was like people who are maybe like they have a Xbox One X or Xbox One or whatever this generation, but then when the next console comes out, oh, they plan on going to PS5. Oh, okay, pick up The Last of Us 2 for the PS5, and then they get introduced to a good franchise from Sony, presumably good franchise from Sony. We wait to see Last of Us 2. Ooh.
What other new games do you plan on picking up for the PlayStation 5? I don't know. What is there? I don't know.
Yeah, nothing's nothing's happening.
I don't want to say this is the point I kind of want to push back on with Anthony a little bit, considering that we don't actually know any like PS5 launch titles, but yet we know like 2 Microsoft ones. Don't you think the argument of Microsoft isn't focused on the games this time around might be a little bit like not great, or do you think we just need to give it time until Sony starts announcing stuff?
I think we need to give it time for sure.
Huh?
It's 2 games, dude.
Okay, 2 is greater than 0.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, 1, Hellblade to some people is decent.
Yeah.
Okay. In my opinion, God of War is better. If you want a decent game that is set in that time period, play God of War.
Sure.
Okay. 2, Halo will no doubt at least suck because 343 is very untrustworthy in my opinion.
Okay.
Everything they've put their hand to has failed.
Okay.
Including 4, including 5, okay? They've done a good job in multiplayer stuff. That's fine. I'll give them that. Halo 5's multiplayer was fantastic. And, like, yes, they did kind of co-work on Reach as well, and Bungie was kind of departing a little bit. The thing is, though, one game may suck. I think it probably will suck at the end of the day. At the end, also they're like rewriting Halo a little bit as well. It's like a soft reboot in a sense. Halo Infinite is.
Yeah.
Which I worry about. Like, why do you have to reboot the series?
Because 5 was so bad that they have to retcon most of it.
Get rid of 5.
Yeah, that's straight up what they're doing almost.
But okay. I think like 2 games is great and all. Halo is a staple of the Microsoft consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Same as Forza, same as Gears, same as whatever. That's all good. These games can come out. That's fine. But like, what's next? And that's the thing. These games do come out. Like Halo 4 launched with like Xbox One, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't really a decent game.
No, it didn't actually. Halo 4 came out in 2012. The Xbox One came out in 2013.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Master Chief Collection launched with
the
Xbox One. That's what I'm thinking of. So yeah, like I don't know. These are Microsoft staple games. Yes, we do have one new game. That's fine, but Microsoft will do their staple stuff. That's all good. I'm just saying, like, if there's nothing after that, which is what they've done previously, like they got their staple stuff previously. If there's nothing after that, we got a problem.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah. I mean, like, Microsoft will do Microsoft, which is like their Halo, Forza, Gears, blah, blah, blah. It's after that I'm very interested in, and we're not seeing any of that. Same with Sony, though. Like, I'm not saying that Sony, Sony's amazing, blah, blah, blah. We've seen nothing from Sony yet. So Sony's console may suck as well. But, I don't know, I've got less confidence in Microsoft because of the previous generation, previous spin-offs of last gen.
Okay.
The Series X, what's it called, Xbox One S and One X and blah blah blah. That's why I'm not too confident.
All right, fair enough.
You know what I think? This next upcoming month, June, would normally be when E3 is. I bet that both Sony and Microsoft had kind of been planning on showing a number of their launch titles during the month of June.
Yeah.
I bet that after June we'll have a little more reason to be excited for both consoles.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it is that people are bored right now too. So it's just like we're wanting to clamor for more and more info from the 2 companies over what to look forward to and whatnot. So
I mean, fair enough.
Corona doesn't help either. Like, everything's ground to a standstill. Like, news, everything, no matter what it is. Not just surrounding the consoles either. There's like the whole industry. So,
man, being a part of a major historical event really sucks. Can I just say that?
Yeah, it's
it's not
right.
fun, is it?
No.
Anthony, I'm gonna put that as the quote of the year. Corona doesn't help. Corona doesn't help.
No.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that at the beginning of your sentence. Just Corona doesn't help. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. and
Corona
sell
doesn't
it.
help. It's not fun either.
It's not fun. Corona's not fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you have it.
It's fun, but Corona isn't fun.
There you go, guys. It's a new generation coming
The
this
spicy
winter. I'm
take
not
of the
excited
year.
yet.
The spicy
Yes,
take of the
exactly.
year. Okay.
Yeah.
New console generation coming this winter. I'm not excited yet, but I hope I will be.
I honestly don't think many people are excited. Like, there's not as much hype as what there was for last gen.
What, like excited in general, or excited for the new generation?
For the new generation. Like
Fair enough.
this gen, sorry. People were keen. People were like, oh yeah, what's next? Because the 360 and PS3 were amazing consoles and they did amazing stuff. So everybody was like excited for, what Microsoft and Sony are going to do next. This year is kind of like, meh, it's another console, who cares?
I think a big thing of it was that like the transition from 360 to Xbox One and everything was kind of massive, like in terms of hardware and everything. Because like, oh, now we have HD gaming. Now we have like 60 FPS as a standard to shoot for, stuff like that, and it's like there's definitely going to be less of a jump like there was back then. Now, so
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
At least for the PlayStation 5, I guess it's supposed to be native 4K, which even like the PS4 Pro didn't have. So
right, yeah.
So yeah, not that big of a jump.
Yeah, the PS4 Pro did upscaled 4K. They did checkerboarded 4K. Anyway. All right. Yeah. So well, I guess maybe wait to see what June brings us. I think Ethan has a good point there, where it's like, I'm sure Microsoft and Sony planned around E3 this year, but obviously no one predicted Corona-chan coming about. So, yeah. Maybe we'll see how they execute on their plans they have laid for June, if any. All right, so the next topic conversation is, does Assassin's Creed suck? We had a article go up around 4 days ago on culturegaming.com where... what is this, like two of our writers went at it with each other, debating everything, debating the merits of the franchise. Nathan and Will Nelson. This is published by Will Nelson. So, yeah. Can I just say that both have some pretty bad takes?
Whoa. Okay.
I love it.
Here's the article we have on our site. Both of the...
Here's our article. It sucks. But go read it.
Both of the authors did a terrible job, but give it a shot. Why don't you?
I love your marketing skills, Taylor. I'm hiring you for marketing manager.
Oh, please don't. I'm definitely not suited for that.
You're perfect for advertising. You're perfect for marketing. Just all around.
Sponsors love me. Sponsors love me. Okay.
Doctors hate him. Find out 12.
No, okay, so the most cordial way of saying what I'm trying to say is that there are the way that they argue their certain points are definitely not the way I would argue certain points. So that's what I'm saying. But anyway, the TLDR is Nathan hates it, Will likes it. Yeah. So does Assassin's Creed have good mission variety? Nathan criticizes it for lazy, tedious missions like the following missions, the trailing missions and everything, stuff like that. He says nobody enjoys them, which is a blanket statement we should always avoid when trying to argue something.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. Will thinks there's enough mission variety to keep players there. Nathan sees each game as a minuscule extension of the last, which I honestly don't understand that argument necessarily, considering when you get the leap from even from 3 to 4 was pretty significant. The leap from 1 to 2 was good. I mean, they do these little they do these major iterations and everything, every so often, which seriously move things forward and everything and are nice. But then it's within these same iterations, they have a couple games in the little mini era of Assassin's Creed. So that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, there's enough mechanical difference. Sure. Yeah, I mean they introduced gimmicks on everything. Microtransactions, that was only a thing since Origins. Okay. Yeah. It's
It's a franchise.
Yeah, it's a franchise. There are many different aspects to it. Whether you like them, hate them, it's kind of your prerogative. What do you think, Anthony? Do you like Assassin's Creed?
Okay, so spiciness.
Here we go.
Old Assassin's Creed was good,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So Assassin's Creed 1 was a decent game. Assassin's Creed 2 was a decent game. The Ezio side of things was pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Okay. Black Flag was solid. I personally didn't mind 3.
Okay.
After that, everything went to hell. The whole remake aspect of what they're doing with Origins, Odyssey, and now Valhalla, I don't like it at all. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Assassin's Creed does not feel like Assassin's Creed anymore at all. It just feels like some RPG as a guy some open world RPG as a guy dressed like an assassin.
In a robe.
And even then, he's not really dressed like an assassin.
Yeah.
So there's another quote for you. I don't know. It doesn't feel like Assassin's Creed. There's no you're not involved in the order anymore. You're just some random dude helping out with in Origins specifically, helping out with conflicts and stuff around Egypt.
Yeah.
Meeting up with people I've got no idea who they are. I've played part of Origins. I haven't finished it, but so much of it is confusing and stupid and it's not Assassin's Creed. It doesn't feel like Assassin's Creed at all. Assassin's Creed was good. They killed it. I'm sorry, Ubisoft, but it's not working for you.
Do you know what? I agree with you. It probably should have ended at 4. It probably should have ended at 4, to be honest.
I agree. 100%.
No, first aim was decent start to the franchise, had Altair and everything. It was a good concept. Assassin's Creed 2, fantastic. The opening scene of Assassin's Creed 2 is burned into my head, and it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years, and the opening is burned into my head. Brotherhood, great, fantastic. Sequel to 2. Revelations, sequel to Brotherhood and 2. Fantastic conclusion to Ezio's story. 3, didn't like it all. 4 was redeemable. And then they probably should have stopped. I didn't play Unity because of the garbage launch.
I did.
Okay. The garbage launch on PC and everything. So I was just kind of turned off from that. And then I was so turned off from the franchise that I forgot Syndicate existed until Origins came out. And I played Origins, didn't like Origins at all. It was a very it felt like a very half-assed open world RPG. And I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of life to the world that was in it. And it's kind of the same critique that I have of Watch Dogs 1 and 2 also. Fantasy Freak 1112 in the chat says, they figured if you were willing to play an assassin dressed in white, you were willing to play anything. Yeah, that's fair.
Exactly. I mean, all you've got to do is go to The Witcher 3 and pretend he's an assassin. Bang, you've got an Assassin's Creed.
Do a road build in Skyrim or Witcher 3.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, I can imagine it. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, I can imagine it in my mind. Okay.
Yeah, I just played it.
That's all it is. That's all it is. It's just some random RPG, open world RPG that they've taken off somewhere and put assassin uniforms in it, which aren't really in it.
Huh?
So I don't know. It's like they've departed from their roots far too much, and they've forgot
one low poly spire. Okay, I'm sorry.
They've got they've departed from their roots too much, and they've got distracted. And yeah, I liked the idea of an open world Assassin's Creed game until I played Origins.
I just thought the execution of Origins was poor.
I mean, the whole intro to it is you're fighting some weird god guy for some reason. I've got no idea why. And I'm rolling Dark Souls-esque. Then I'm killing him, and then for some reason I've got a son, and then it's what is this? I'm a Magi, which I've got no clue what it is. How is this Assassin's Creed? I'm sorry, but how is it Assassin's Creed?
I think maybe a big part of it was people, at least in the West here, or in Western, Westernized society, a Western-rooted society, because you're in Australia, you're definitely in the Eastern Hemisphere, but you get the point, right? You're derived from Britain. You're derived from Britain. And so it's Egyptian history isn't exactly the strongest thing taught over here. either. And so it's like I feel like inherently people would be more familiar with even Greek history, but like like Roman history, stuff like that. So
yeah. I've been noticeably quiet. I haven't played a single one of these games, but as an
I thought you played
outsider
2 the other day.
Wait.
Play 2? No, I was talking with you about 2 the other day.
I thought you were playing 2 after we had the talk.
No, I mean, I added it to my list of games that I'm going to play this year. I have an extensive list of games that I'm going to play this year. You've convinced me. I'm going to play the second game. But as an outsider looking in, I think the only thing that I can kind of latch onto as, how do I put this? A reason to get into the franchise would be the world building. From an outside perspective, it seems like they have an interesting take on historical settings, and I like that. I like that idea. I like that concept.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, Valhalla really interests me. I like the whole Viking idea. After playing Witcher 3, going to Skellige, I'm really into the Iron Islands from Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire. That setting really seems kind of fascinating to me. As for how well the stealth mechanics or gameplay or lack of stealth mechanics, if I understand it correctly, I don't have any perspective on that. But the setting alone kind of interests me. So
all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. We wait for Anthony to get back. Anytime now. Here we go.
And he's back. He made it.
Any
Sorry, our cat is like going berserk.
Any concluding thoughts regarding Assassin's Creed?
It sucks. I hate it. Okay. Everything about it.
You're just not done telling me you haven't played it, mate.
I hate it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's new Assassin's Creed. Hell no. Black Flag, take it back there. Like, just take it back there. Black Flag was so good. Yeah. Although Donkey has some good points. I'm going to reference him again. Like, he did like a video on Assassin's Creed. 90% of Assassin's Creed is like tailing missions.
I don't think it's that much.
It's kind of
I don't think it's that much. There's no way it's that much. I think I think those missions just feel like the slowest, and they definitely are, admittedly. So people think they're a bigger part than they actually are, but I don't think there's that many, realistically.
Okay, so the first 40 minutes of Black Flag is like a tailing mission.
Okay, yeah, that one. Okay, that one's totally concedable. Yeah, I gotcha. On that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
The intro to the game is a freaking tailing mission.
Open world games in general have a lot of tailing missions. Like, if anybody who's ever played Red Dead Redemption 2 will know,
garbage game.
There's a lot. I don't know about that, but I would argue it's a great game. But there's a lot of tailing people in that game. I'm not entirely against the idea of tailing people or following someone to a destination if along the way there's some bit of interesting dialogue to carry me along. I assume, is that not the case in Assassin's Creed?
No, it is. No, it is. It's the same. The same mechanic is used in Assassin's Creed. Like, you're usually supposed to be listening in, like the whole Schmidt's gimmick and everything is like, oh, you're following these people because they're having an important conversation or whatever, and they're gonna stop having this conversation if you get spotted. So you have to eavesdrop.
Oh, well, then I guess I'm not thinking of the right mechanic in that case. In that, it seems like it's tailing someone, or you're trying to generally avoid, them. Whereas what I'm thinking of in Red Dead is just...
Wait, let me intercede here real quick. So a lot of the stuff in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag specifically is you're tailing someone to get to a conversation, so then you can listen to that conversation. While you're tailing the person, they're just walking.
Okay, yeah, that does sound terrible.
Okay, I was remembering how it was like in the Ezio trilogy with stuff.
Yeah, that's different. That's slightly different. Yeah, like if you're following someone or walking, like what's his face? Like the scientist guy. What's his name?
Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
I don't remember.
No,
it's been 7 years since I played Assassin's Creed 4, fam.
What's his name?
Oh, Leonardo da Vinci.
There you go. Like when you're following him around.
For Platonic.
Walking with him, like there's some very interesting conversations there.
Yeah, but he's your friend though.
Yeah, I know.
You don't really trail your friends home at night and try and eavesdrop on them, you know? At least I don't. I don't know about you.
Anyway, whatever. So maybe I stalk people, maybe I don't. Yeah, but like, I don't know. A lot of Assassin's Creed is tailing missions. The older games were good, new games bad. Continue.
Okay. All right. I think they'll kind of wrap up the conversation because, I mean, Ethan hasn't played them, so. All right.
Fair enough.
Oh, boy. All right. Have we got some Twitch drama, you know? Twitch.tv. It is the premier... Huh?
It is happening.
Yeah, it is the premier streaming platform on the
It
internet.
is time to deliver some uninformed takes on Twitch drama.
Pretty
drama.
much.
Let's do it. Let's
Right,
do it.
So, May 14th, okay? 2020, okay? Introducing the Twitch Safety Advisory Council. This was a blog post put up directly by Twitch themselves, where, you know, it's a very PR-laced speak way of basically they've taken somewhat prominent streamers from throughout Twitch, put them into this council called the Twitch Safety Advisory Council, and what they're basically going to do is they're going to be this kind of intermediary between Twitch staff and, you know, the greater Twitch community to draft new policies and policy updates, develop products and features to improve safety and moderation, promote healthy streaming and work-life balance habits, protecting the interests of marginalized groups, and identifying emerging trends that could impact the Twitch experience. Overall, not a horrible concept, because, you know, there have definitely been instances in the past where the Twitch, like, administration team, you know, the Twitch staff team have been they came off as though they were disconnected from the community on Twitch as a platform and everything. So, you know what? Concept alone, not a bad idea. And, you know, they have some pretty recognizable names and everything, like Code Carnage, Cup of Noodle, stuff like that. Emma Alonso. There's this one person, a couple other people all seem like somewhat relevant and everything, right? There's this one person who's particularly troublesome, named username Ferociously Steph. Okay, Ferociously Steph got on to the council and everything. I don't know if there was like an application process or if, you know, like Twitch just hand selected some popular people or whatever it might have been. And Ferociously Steph is kind of, I don't want to say out there. She's I guess the best way of putting it is that she's maybe not the best representative of an intermediary to go between the Twitch community and, you know, the Twitch staff and everything. If you tune into some of her streams and everything, she's very anti-gamer, it kind of seems like, just so to speak, and everything. Most of her streams comprise about, you know, ranting about cis gendered males and everything, stuff like that. And if people in her chat like disagree with her respectfully even, then she just bans them from the chat and everything. Okay. And yeah, so
it's like a policy to live by.
Yeah. Not because, you know, if you disagree with someone, then obviously the trick is to just silence them, you know? It's like, obviously that's what
silence.
Yeah, silence. Yeah. So yeah, you know, she at the very least she doesn't take criticism or disagreement very well. Let's put it that way. Okay. And yeah, she also where was I going? There was also this one particularly troubling scene where she talked about, how much power she has as a member of like this advisory council and everything, and how it doesn't matter what she does on stream anymore, and, you know, how she can't get banned for whatever she does on stream and everything. And there's this also, and this all happened on one of her live streams or whatever. I don't even begin to understand how the live stream like conversation or, you know, like flow kind of began to go in this direction. But at some point or another, she begins role-playing as a deer. And I don't mean a deer like, oh, you know, hey deer, how was your day at work? I mean like an actual effing deer, you know, like one that goes around in the forest and whatnot and eats shrubs. She started role-playing as a deer and orgasmed as a deer, role-playing as a deer on stream.
What?
I don't have words. I forgot English. Okay. Is that all? Is there anything else to dissect here?
No, that's pretty much it. So she she enjoys role playing as Deer and doing business on stream and yeah, this is the person that Twitch chose to be an intermediary between themselves and the greater Twitch community. And a couple of other like power trip rants later, Twitch released a follow-up blog post like 5 days later. This entire like thing happened over the course of 5 days on her streams, by the way. Like 5 days later, Twitch basically said, "Hey, just so we're clear that like the Twitch advisory board, and safety council and everything, they can't like ban people from the platform and everything," which is good because I don't think this lady has the most measured opinion when it comes to banning people, in all honesty. And if her chat moderation history is anything to go by, so yeah, that's kind of good, and they will not have access to any specific details on moderation cases. They are not Twitch employees and do not speak on Twitch's behalf. While we value their opinions and their right to share them, they're independent actors who have opinions that aren't shared either by Twitch employees, or even other members of the council. So, yeah, it looks like she got a talking to behind the scenes, but this is, out of all the people to choose...
Like, are any
Someone
of them like
who's-
famous? Or...
Oh yeah, they're all like decent streamers and everything. Like they're all like gamers in their own right and everything. This lady is too, but at the same time, like she doesn't like. She's, I guess this is the best way of putting it. Like she's definitely what we try to avoid in our writing and everything. Like injecting, the political agenda into it and everything. And
Sure.
Twitch wants to show everyone how woke they are. I agree 100%. Yeah, they want to. No, Ethan, you don't agree?
What? No, I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
curious about the whole Deer thing. Does that?
About the what?
This
Do
is
it?
a weird question
Do it,
to
do-
ask. Does that not classify as like pornography under their?
I mean, she
site?
wasn't nude or anything, but it's still pretty weird, and I'm not sure whether or not it explicitly violates the terms of service, but that's definitely not something I would want on this like safety advisory council. Because I will say the lady orgasming as a Deer roleplay didn't make me feel safe. Okay, let me just say that.
Goodness.
I shot a deer in The Last of Us earlier today.
Okay.
I don't have anything to add to that. Just that I shot a deer in The Last of Us. So.
I've shot a deer in real life. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Just be careful out there, lady. You might be mistaken. I don't know.
Right.
dang. Okay.
High
Yeah.
vis hunting vest, gotta make sure you're not mistaken.
Bright orange.
Yeah.
Bright orange.
Highlighter Sharpie orange.
But then you're not having the true role playing experience. You're looking at this the wrong way, Taylor.
Goodness. Okay. I don't know.
This is a lot. I don't know.
They
where
let
to go from here.
they let ASMR boob girls hit on 12-year-olds. Might as well let her dear. That's also a fair point, right? Like, I don't know, Twitch is like, in certain ways, they're still kind of the Wild West, because if you get into their good graces with Twitch, you're allowed to get away with a lot of stuff. But then at the same time, if you're like kind of up and coming, it's very easy to trap you in the game as they're trying to, they're trying to come up and everything. But yeah, so this lady she's not very like tempered in her opinion and everything. So it's good that she doesn't have moderation, like direct moderation power and everything.
Certainly good.
That was the point I was trying to make. No, only certain people are allowed to. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like there's certain people that are in the good graces of Twitch are allowed to get away with a lot. But if you're one of those like normies who are just trying to make a name for yourself, you're kind of up and coming, then you can't get away with much. So if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, a male hits on 12-year-olds in Twitch and bans them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, there's this very distinct lack of moderation, lack of consistent moderation on Twitch, I should say. Yeah. So this lady is kind of, I don't want to say insane because I'm not a clinician or anything to diagnose that, but
a little bit different.
yeah, she's different. Doesn't handle disagreement very well, if at all. And I think the primary problem with this that I'm trying to raise out of all this is like she is overtly hostile to the general community on Twitch. listening to her and everything. She's overtly hostile to the general community people on Twitch, which is not.
You said that she's anti-gamer. How exactly?
It's
how
like
exactly is that so?
it's like I don't know. It's like she talks about how there's this one clip of her where she's like, oh, it's like I have to always like turn off the voice chat or whatever to just hear a bunch of these like cis white male voices and everything in voice chat in games, and it's like, oh wow, okay, lady.
To me.
Huh?
Sounds like she's sexist to me.
Right? Yeah, maybe she is sexist.
I mean, sexist works both ways.
True.
For people out there who think it doesn't, too bad.
Hold on. I'm gonna try and post it in chat here. The the clip of the deer.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. Send me the link. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm very scared. Oh shoot.
Is this it?
And come back to here, maybe. Nice and soft.
Oh wait, hold on. There's also this other clip where maybe she's also role-playing as a deer, but this isn't the one I was referring to. But like, there's this other girl like sitting behind her and like stroking her hair, and she's making deer noises also.
Okay, question.
Yes.
I mean, don't people have anything better to do?
What do you mean?
They could be off reading Lord of the Rings. I don't know, man.
I mean, you could be off doing anything better. Maybe giving people quality content. How about that? That's an extreme idea, isn't it?
Maybe.
There's basketball. There's knitting.
So in my
driving.
spare time,
It's like
I go out to my
quality
yard.
content.
In my spare time,
I mean,
I go
Here,
out to
hold
my
on.
yard.
This is the hold on. This is the clip. This is the clip. It's posted.
Send it on through.
And I
I will
prance
regret
around.
everything.
Did you hear the audio on
And I
stream?
eat
I'm
grass.
sorry.
And I just
Is
watch
this a
it.
good
It
idea?
helps me
This isn't
feel
a good
like in
idea.
tune with my dear self. So I do my best. I do my best to be.
Oh, okay. That wasn't the one where she orgasmed. Never mind.
I'm sure it's been removed probably by now.
Maybe. This
pop,
is her. Oh wait, hold
Get
on.
him, Muds. Roar on him.
Yeah. There's also this other clip on that same page where you can find where it's like she talks about, oh, she has ban immunity from Twitch, so it doesn't matter really, what she really does. So. Yeah. I did literally roleplay a deer way better than that. Yeah, really.
I mean,
We want to talk about role-playing deer, right? This lady isn't incredible.
I love how we're owning on this lady, yet at the same time we're like, oh, we could do that better. We could.
Well, yeah, of course, right? I mean, if you're doing like
Bring it
top,
on, man.
yeah, you're not
Bring it
top
on.
crash, you're not put up or shut up, right? So it's like I could totally play a better deer. Okay.
I'm gonna play this from two sides. A, why would you roleplay as a deer? B, why would you roleplay as a deer poorly? Come on, man. Go big or go home, right?
Exactly.
in role play it well.
You have to commit 100% to whatever you're doing in life, right? That's good life advice. If you're gonna role play a deer and orgasm on stream, 100%, nail it, go for
Freak
it.
112.
No issue.
Man.
The next time we do a Power Up podcast after party, this is definitely going to be a topic that gets come up again while people are somewhat intoxicated. I guarantee it.
Hey, when are we doing that again? That was a lot of fun.
I'm planning
the last
one for maybe the end of this month. So
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
have me on that. That'd be
yeah, for
awesome.
sure. Okay.
Just step up for deer. This is the most unusual topic I think we've done on here. Or
This
at least
one,
as far
next
as...
one is a little bit more dramatic, but is a bit and is I don't say more cut and dry. Yeah.
Wait.
It's more straightforward.
Fantasy Freak, how are you playing role-playing Pokemon?
Oh no, so we're stopping here. Okay.
I mean, we're kind of.
Okay, anyway. So we have more Twitch drama because, yes, we are literally scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to conversation topics because it's been a really quiet week. Some of you might be familiar with a female streamer named Pokimane, right? She is the 7th largest streamer on the platform and everything. And, well, I'm sure you've probably seen her around doing literally anything on either YouTube or Twitch. She's actually a deer.
Like, what?
Maybe, yeah. You never know.
Maybe she's actually a deer.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So in that case, she's role playing as a human and doing it pretty darn well.
Ooh. No. I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like
Regardless,
the reason why her deer impression is so shitty is just like she's a deer trying to impression what she thinks a human would think a deer would be like, which is so it's like a few separations, which is why it's so bad.
Have you guys ever seen? Okay, total. It's related. Have you ever seen Die Hard before?
Yes.
You know the one scene where Alan Rickman, who is I don't know what he has like some sort of European lineage. Yeah, some sort of European lineage. So he's getting it in the accent of a German guy, right, in that movie.
Yeah.
But at one point, he's trying to pretend to have an American accent. So he is a European actor with a German accent trying to have an American accent.
He's a British actor trying to play a German guy who that German guy now has to think what an English accent would sound like. Yeah.
A bad English accent would sound like. That's what this is like.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. That's all I had.
That's like good example, right? That's what's going on. Yeah, this is her, but yeah, anyway. We're okay. Yeah, so anyway, back to it. Pokimane, another big popular streamer. You've probably seen her on like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever and everything. Okay? There has been some drama surrounding her and her army of simps, okay? Because I have no like way else to like describe the people that follow her at this point. You just have to identify as human. Yeah, fair enough. Who's Mona was?
What?
What?
I don't know.
That one's who Pokimane was? Oh, okay.
Who's
Yeah, she's a very large streamer on Twitch, 7th largest streamer on the platform. I believe the largest female streamer. Although I could be wrong on that. Anyway, she's popular and she is definitely one of Twitch's little darling children and everything. And you know, is one of the remaining faces of Twitch ever since, you know, like Shroud and Ninja left for Mixer. And so anyway, she is there's this YouTuber. Hold on, let me pull up the guy's name really quick. I accidentally closed out this tab. My bad. YouTuber named It's a Gundam. Okay. Who made a video critiquing some of critiquing Pokimane and her audience and kind of how her audience like interacts with her and everything and how she interacts with her audience and kind of has some like Twitter antics and fun, you know, displaying and everything between Pokimane and her audience. I mean, the video doesn't go like egregiously attacking her unfoundly and everything. It's just like a simple like it's kind of like a commentary video on a certain topic is the best way to put it out. Once again, it's a Gundam on YouTube. I'm gonna link the channel in the chat really quick. Whoops, hold on. I don't mean to do that. Why is YouTube UI so ass? Anyway, so that's his channel. Guy makes a video talking about, you know, Pokimane stuff and whatnot, right? Well, you see, Pokimane doesn't take too kindly to that. Right? Longest story ever. Sorry. Yeah, Pokimane doesn't take too kindly to that. And one of her donators gets her to watch the video, or like points her out to the video on stream. And okay, she watches it. She doesn't like the things this guy has to say about her. Okay. And so what she does is she leaves a very incredibly well written, dignified comment and everything. And then this is all on stream, by the way. And then on stream, basically asks her followers and her community to harass and brigade and dislike bomb this guy who made this critiquing video about her, which, by the way, is an explicit violation of the Twitch terms of service. Yes, I looked it up. Brigading, like encouraging brigading of any kind is allowed, even if it's not on the Twitch platform. So, yeah, she did that, and then...
Wait.
What?
Is allowed or isn't allowed?
Is not allowed. It is explicitly not allowed as per the Twitch terms of service. It's not even like legally spoken and everything. It straight up says, yeah, no brigading. Yeah, her personal simp army. She commands her personal simp army to like basically review bomb this poor guy's video, okay? Because she didn't like some of the things this guy had to say about her. And she then proceeds to go on a rant, causing Oh, I'm sorry. Before this, what she tries to do is she tries to contact a sponsor of this smaller YouTuber, much smaller YouTuber, to try and get the company to pull the sponsorship from the YouTuber. So going after this poor guy's livelihood because she didn't like some of the things that he had to say about her. And then after she does that, she does a little bit of a rant about criticism and everything, which caused one of her sponsors, Ridge Wallet, to drop her. Yeah, and then, that's pretty much it so far. And then the guy, It's a Gundam, made a follow-up video and everything, where he said it's just like, I've pretty much just had like a ton of fun with this. It's honestly been nothing but memes for me. I don't really care. But I will say that a potential sponsorship deal that I was working out did fall through because of this whole controversy between her and I.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. And Keemstar also revealed she had a boyfriend, so rip all the simps who went homeless donating to her lately.
I
Okay.
hate Twitch.
So the big question is, will she get banned? Or is she such a darling, good graces child with the Twitch staff that she'll be fine?
She won't get banned, no way.
No? You don't think so? Okay.
Not a hope.
Yeah, probably not either.
Probably not,
She'll not get banned.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I feel like if a smaller channel did this, they would.
Mm-hmm.
But Pokimane is like a very prominent YouTuber, Twitch streamer, and like does a ton of like gaming and like talk like just chatting kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As well. As we said, she's like the 7th biggest streamer. So I feel like, yeah, like say if we did something like this, hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
we'll get banned immediately.
Right.
But someone like Pokimane, no, I don't believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. There's no way she's going to get banned. She's way too large and everything. And, yeah, Twitch staff is not going to do anything about it because that would mean way too much lost revenue for Twitch. And, this is one of the biggest issues Twitch has, though you've seen time and time again, and we've talked about numerous times on this show and everything, that the, it's like the larger streamers are just, like, don't get as consistently moderated as, the smaller streamers do.
But
It's like Alinity putes vodka into her cat's mouth and doesn't get banned for it, even though it's animal abuse.
I kind of feel like this goes kind of not both ways, but like even then, like even if you're a big streamer, you can. Okay, I think I'm just gonna say this. I think it's like if you're a dude, things are different. If you're female, things are different.
Okay, you think it even goes that far?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Because if you look at someone like Dr. Disrespect,
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that he's done, like during like E3
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, we were talking about this before the show.
Yeah.
His cameraman idiotically followed him into a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a bathroom. No one was in there, I don't believe. And then he was like, "Okay, walk out of here. Don't. Give me a minute." Basically.
Yeah.
He got banned for like 2 weeks, I think it was, or I think it might have been 30 days. Okay. Just for a simple mess up like that. Whereas like you've got a female streamer who literally spits vodka into her cat's mouth.
Or yeets their cat behind them.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good, dude. No worries. So I feel like if you're a man and you do something slightly iffy, bang, you're banned immediately. But if you're female, I kind of feel like things go differently. Probably because of how much pull some female streamers have, and like people, I don't know, maybe more people watch female streamers than male streamers, so it's like a numbers game at the end of the day, kind of. I'm not sure, but I've noticed that a lot of like larger male streamers tend to get banned a lot more than like larger female streamers, if that makes sense.
Has Alinity ever actually been banned or anything like that? I don't think she ever has for any of the things she's pulled.
Yeah, like as Rescrews Reborn says, like,
Oh yeah,
don't forget that other thing that happened.
Yeah, Alinity accidentally flashing on stream. Fantasy Freak says, I don't think it's male female, it's intersectional versus not intersectional. All right, fair enough. Okay. Yeah, I'm iffy on I'm iffy on the actual like gender politics between it both. I will say maybe the difference comes in how you can get away with far more as LGBT. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, Pokemon, as far as I know, is not LGBT or anything. But again, I don't know her personal life or anything. According to Keemstar, she has a boyfriend.
It's also what you stand for as well, like on the stream. Like
Oh,
if you
okay, got
support
it.
that kind of stuff verbally, they won't do it. Maybe that could also be it.
Okay.
Or it's like your average streamers, like Tim the Tatman, Doctor Disrespect, all them aren't verbal about that stuff, so they kind of get in a lot more trouble.
That was trying to be my next point and everything, and it's like at the at the expense of maybe sounding overly generalistic here and everything. I definitely think there is a different measurable difference in the way that female streamers interact with their audiences versus the way male streamers interact with their audience and everything. And so it's like there are definitely maybe a few different maybe just due to the nature of interaction and everything, there may be more opportunities for a female streamer to get banned as opposed to a male streamer. But then Twitch maybe recognizes that fact and is easier on the female streamers. That's a possibility too. I don't know.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah. Ethan, what do you think?
I read this article. I think it was a Kotaku article a long while ago. Back whenever I think it was TwitchCon of last year or something like that, and it was basically it was contrasting Twitch stardom versus like Hollywood stardom or TV show stardom, and how there's a significant difference there. Like Twitch is this thing that you build up from from your living room or your basement. That you can kind of build up from at home, and as such there are less stipulations on it. You're kind of free to do whatever you want to, and the stipulations that Twitch do set in place aren't nearly as enforced, whereas the people who grew up in Hollywood or whatever, ignoring all the flaws that Hollywood have, regardless, there are a lot of standards there that you kind of have to stick by, and as such a lot of the problems that kind of celebrities have, they're underlying, they're hidden. PR reps or whatever do a much better job of kind of enforcing a lot of those standards. I don't think that's entirely what the article was about. I think it more had to do with the way that TwitchCon is bad with their security protocols, and how I think there was some food poisoning involved last year. But the point's kind of similar in that there aren't nearly as many restrictions for this platform. That honestly might be a problem, as we've seen not only here but just time and time again. I don't know how much else to add to that. I'm looking at it from the perspective of someone who typically does not watch any Twitch at all, because
I typically don't watch Twitch either, because instead of watching video games, I prefer to play them, to be quite honest. Right. So yeah, that's just
my general mentality is that I enjoy video games. I typically don't enjoy the people who play them. Like I don't play online games just ever.
Okay. Because
there's just an uncountable amount of garbage out there.
You blended this, fam.
Right, exactly, yeah. It's unmoderated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually, I don't watch a ton of Twitch either, but because of, time zones and stuff, I usually watch, YouTube stuff relating to Twitch streams, so, recaps of certain streams and whatever. I watch quite a bit of, Dr. Disrespect and, who's the other guy? Tim the Tatman, Dr. Disrespect, and there's one other guy as well I watch quite a bit of. And, some of the stories you see, or not see, but hear about, are kind of insane. But these guys are getting banned for nothing, hardly anything at all. I think at one stage Tim got banned for abusing someone in Call of Duty. He was literally
exploiting on stream or whatever.
Yeah, he was yelling at them.
Oh, okay.
Because it was this one guy was sitting in a corner, and blah blah blah, and Tim just kept getting shot and shot and shot and shot every single time he would come around this certain corner. Anyway, he kind of went a bit berserk.
Okay.
And was
nice healthy dose of rage.
Over the voice chat and whatever, which is if you don't talk. I mean, gaming, a lot of people in gaming and whatever, particularly Call of Duty, talk crap.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
part
like-
of it, right? It's like you don't take that stuff personally, right? That's just part of the competition, right? Like,
But somebody
that's the way
can
I
get
look at it.
banned
Yeah.
for doing that
Yeah.
compared to something else. So it's interesting how stuff works.
Remember,
Anyway,
online interactions are not rated by the ESRB, okay?
apparently Twitch doesn't like it though. So.
Yeah.
I
Man,
guess the other obvious.
If I did
I guess-
Tox Matt too, I'd clap back. Anyway.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean-
fair enough.
That's fair enough.
I guess the other obvious kind of contrast between Twitch and another platform like YouTube is that Twitch is very much, I don't know, unfiltered. Like it's just supposed to be kind of the raw reaction of whatever person that you're watching instead of a highly edited video, right? And as such,
Yeah.
I mean, whenever someone's true nature comes out, I mean, it can be less than
Stellar.
less than stellar, less than presentable, and
Mhm.
easily bannable, I suppose.
Yeah, people have like the luxury of editing on Twitch, like they do on YouTube or whatever.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Which
We
is why
were talking a little bit about this before the podcast.
pretty
yeah.
much. So I don't watch Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also, I don't know, going back to the Hollywood point that you brought up too and everything, right? Just like, I don't know, Hollywood has been around enough time that they're like definitely like the elders of Hollywood and everything too, have been there, done that, etc., etc. And, you know, maybe give some advice to like the younger generation that comes up every so often and whatnot on how to like handle things and everything. But then on like,
Right.
you know, Twitch, YouTube, all the internet stuff that are like people are making gross amounts of money on are just so new still and everything.
Yeah.
That, you know.
You used the term Wild West before. I mean, Hollywood already went through its Wild West phase back in the 20s or 30s or whatever it was.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
by this
Yeah.
point, it's already been hyperly industrialized.
Mhm.
We already have so many different systems in place, some of which are less than stellar once again, but you know,
Mhm.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Twitch is just like not even a decade old. Is that right?
I don't think so, no.
But I mean, I
And
don't
then
know, like,
so it's like, you know, you did these like, okay, so Pokemon was born in 96, right? She's 23 or 24 years old, okay? You have this 23 to 24-year-old making, I'm sure it equates to at least over $1 million per year easily at this point. She's large
Yeah.
enough, right?
yeah.
Making probably over $1 million per year, and with like 4 million followers at her beck and call and everything, like 4 million individual people willing to watch her content and everything, gotta do something to you, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not even saying I would be immune to it either, right? Like, I don't know, if I got that sort of like level of fame and like money and everything, I'm not sure how I would react. You know, I'm not put in that situation.
I mean, okay. With the whole like Wild West kind of thing as well, like
Mhm.
that's all good. A platform can be like Wild West town, that's fine, but like don't be hypocritical with enforcing the rules that you have. Don't do it for one person, not for another person. Like
Right.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
certain like rules for the platform may be like may not be there, maybe there. Some people might think that there needs to be more rules, blah blah blah. That's all good, but do not be hypocritical about enforcing those rules.
Right,
depending
exactly.
on, you know, what sex you identify as, blah blah blah. That's all. What's beside the point. No matter what somebody does, no matter who they are, what they are, blah blah blah, enforce the law of your platform. That's all people ask, really. Don't do it for one guy, not for another guy.
Like Wyatt Earp and Tombstone. You got to
Yeah.
enforce the law. Yeah, exactly. But I will say, I think there is something refreshing about the Wild West, right? It's like it's
Right.
a new platform with a new platform. Comes,
Exactly.
all the freedom that comes in with it. None of the
Yeah.
stipulations. None of the, you know, corruption. None of the capitalism. None of the unionization. It's just like we're still figuring this crap out. Eventually, it's probably going to get to the point where it's just going to become its own full blown industry. But for right now, I mean, there is something kind of refreshing about the freedom that comes with it.
Right. Although it's like at the same time also it's hard to be free and everything when like, you know, Twitch will moderate the hell out of anyone who isn't like making their company enough revenue and everything, because I mean that's what it comes down to. They don't want like Pokimane to stop streaming because they make so much money. Like Twitch as a company makes revenue off her donations, off her subscriptions and everything, right? So it's like she's large enough that it might noticeably impact Twitch's bottom line to have Pokimane not stream for like a week or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
And so,
as
you know, it's like I think if we were truly in the Wild West, we would have like an almost unmoderated platform, or whatever, in the sense where it's like, okay, people just do whatever they want, right? As long as it's not explicitly illegal.
It's just 4chan.
Right,
That's it.
exactly. I mean,
And kind of like as like Fantasy Freak brought up in the chat, like there's too much of a monopoly, and whoever was, it wasn't me, so I'm guessing it was you, Taylor. There's too much like a monopoly, you know, with like YouTube and Twitch. What's the alternative? Mixer. I mean, during the whole this is just a random thing. During the whole Corona thing, I think Twitch grew like a solid 12% or something, more than they've ever grown before, because more people are watching, because more people are at home. That's to be expected. You know how much Mixer grew?
not much.
0.2%.
I was gonna say, I guarantee you they shrank, right? Did Mixer shrink in all this? Okay, anyway.
0.2%. That's all I grew. So nobody's interested in Mixer, and that's the thing. There needs to be an alternative to Twitch. It's like anything in business. There needs to be an alternative. Otherwise, those people can charge whatever they want. They can do whatever they want ever. Nobody can do anything about it.
It is only about revenue, or they would never suspend Dr. Just for Respect. It's about this woke culture. I agree. I wasn't trying to insinuate that was the only reason Twitch wouldn't moderate Pokimane and everything, but it's a contributing reason, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I mean, okay, and then more to the other point, you know, it's like, so it's like if Twitch decides to ban like enough people from the platform, that it's like, where do they go to stream now? You know, it's like BitChute barely has a streaming infrastructure in place. Yeah. Do they start streaming on YouTube? Well, YouTube could be arguably like more heavily moderated than Twitch sometimes. Mixer? Do you go over to Mixer? Well, is Microsoft just gonna let everyone on Mixer loose and be like, do whatever, have fun? No, absolutely not.
No way.
Yeah.
It reminds me of I was not around for this time, for this era in our history, but it reminds me of the early days of the internet, right? It's like people were still trying to figure out how to do forums and hook up their freaking modem and create websites and stuff like that.
64K modem.
Oh yeah, man.
Now, I think at the end of this, the timeless question must be asked: age, sex, language, or I'm sorry, location. ASL, the classic AOL chat room question. ASL.
I refuse to answer.
Oh wait, I'm not aware of it.
Who's answering? I mean,
no, it was just like in general, right? So it's like back when like AOL and like Yahoo chat rooms were popular and everything, people trying to like, you know, hook up with some people or, you know, date some people would go into like rooms and be like ASL, you know, so it's like, you know, age of a person, age of a user, like sex of a user, location of the user, see if they were maybe nearby, you know. Yeah.
I am Ethan. I am 19. I look like 12, and I'm in the pit of hell.
All right.
That's my answer.
Okay. Anyway, so
this was a fun discussion.
Yeah. Oh wow! I can't wait to see how this Twitch drama evolves over the next week or so. Good God, kill me. Okay.
Keep me posted. I'm not going to keep up on it.
I just spent like an hour catching up on all of it today because I had seen it go around. I was just like, oh God, this is ridiculous. The only people that are like providing like any like decently fair takes on it are the type of channels that in order to like bend the YouTube algorithm a little bit, they upload like 3 or 4 times per day, and all their videos are above 10 minutes. And so it's like, that's a lot of content you kind of have to parse through.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think that will about wrap it up. So Anthony, what games are releasing this next week?
So last week,
Uh-huh.
you actually forgot to ask me that question.
I'm sorry.
So currently I am killing time to pull up the list. Let me see. What's the date? 24th of the 5th? 23rd of the 5th? Yeah, 5th actually. Here we go. Okay, so till... Let me see here. 30th. Quite a bit this week actually. Wow, okay. So... we have on the 26th, we have Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath expansion going to PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia, because apparently Stadia is still alive. Minecraft Dungeons is going to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on May 26th. Phantasy Star Online 2 is going to PC on May 27th. which is in North America only. Missile Command Recharged is going to PC and Switch on May 28th. Those Who Remain is going to PC, PS4, Xbox One on May 28th as well. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is going to Switch on May 29th. XCOM 2 Collection is going to Switch on May 29th as well. Borderlands Legendary Collection is going to Switch on May 29th also. BioShock the Collection is also going to Switch on May 29th. And because this is going to be Game of the Year 100%, Fast and Furious Crossroads, which was the thing we saw at Gamescom. What's the end of the year thing? The Game Awards. There you go. It's coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on May 29th. And that is it for this week. More than what we've had the past couple of weeks. So that's decent.
Is Phantasy Star Online 2 any good? Thought about getting it. I've heard good things so far. So, yeah.
Xenoblade really snuck up on me. I didn't realize that was coming out so soon. Huh.
Okay. Ethan, where can people find you on Twitter?
I am at Linkachuchu, LANKACHUCHU on Twitter. I don't post a lot, but I usually post short reviews of whatever game or movie I've been playing.
Nuclear bad tates on games.
Always.
No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Only nuclear.
Only nuclear level. Yeah.
I intend on eventually blowing up the entire world, just one review at a time.
Just with all the tates. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get there eventually, I'm sure.
Someday.
Anthony, how about yourself?
I'm at SameAntman19. You can go and follow me there if you wish to. I don't really post a whole heap, but I do most of the site's social media stuff. So as we went through the very start, you can follow us over on Twitter, which is at the Cog Network. Same as Facebook. You can join our community Discord, which you can find down below if you're wanting to talk to any of us about any of the things. So in the Twitch chat, it's just down below. You just click on that little Discord emblem. It's also on the right-hand side of our site as well, which is culturegaming.com.
Okay, awesome. You can find me on Twitter at Infurious7809. That is at INFERIUS7809. Mostly anime stuff. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. We will see you guys next week. Maybe an after show next week. Not certain quite yet. But
let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Maybe. Maybe. Okay. All right. Well, looks like that's that then. Do it next week after the show. Anyway, so thank you all so much. And we'll see you all next week. Later.